Hello gamers, and welcome back to another episode of Solo Spelunking. And tonight, before I start, I want to say a few things because I'm kind of on the fence. Because as you can see from the setup here, I would really like to continue my Rhya and Nash Shadowdark campaign, but of course I've also looked at the view count and the analytics, and I want to be completely blunt and honest with you. I get the impression that you've had enough of Shadowdark because the last video totally tanked. I mean, it's up for a couple of days and it didn't even hit 100 views. I mean, usually my videos have around like 120, maybe 150 views. There's some that perform better and I don't really care because I don't have to live off my YouTube channel, and I'm doing this for my own fun and enjoyment. But that's the thing, that is this YouTube bug, that YouTube is basically constantly evaluating you because it always shows you like how your videos performed, like a 3 out of 10, 4 out of 10, and the last Shadowdark video is a solid 10 out of 10, which is a bad thing in YouTube. So and I could see the view counts decline from episode to episode. So while there might be a few of you who maybe enjoyed this series, at least going by the statistics, the majority of viewers have had enough of Shadowdark. And now I'm on the fence. Should I say, well, what the hell? I mean, it's my channel. I do this for my own enjoyment and I continue playing this series? Or do I basically retire this series into a private game, because I will definitely continue playing these characters, but maybe they're not on camera, and do something else? So I'm on the fence about this, and maybe you have an opinion about it in the comment section, and that would be nice if you would let me know. Maybe, I don't know, maybe I should try one of these polls to see what you would be interested in next. However, this is not what I'm going to do today or tonight. Tonight I will say, well, I don't care. I'm in the mood for Shadowdark, so I'm going to play Shadowdark. So this is what we're doing tonight. I'm continuing my adventures in the Keldor sector series with Nash and Rhya. And I'm going to jump straight into the action. So if you want to see what has happened before, check out the other videos in this series. So we are in this abandoned warehouse, and we have just barely defeated a group of 4 thugs, 3 human thugs, 2 male, 1 female, and 1 goatel thug. And they were in this makeshift kitchen area here, and we have defeated them barely, and thankfully we were using the Blackstream solo hero rules for damage conversion. So this is Nash. He is at 1 hit point and Rhya is at 2 hit points. So this is the scene where we start. So we are hurting. We took a couple of hits. Thankfully our light armor absorbed most of the energy. So we are still walking, but we're definitely hurting, at least Nash's, but Rhya as well. And we stunned all of these thugs. So they're stunned on the floor. Only one of them is dead because Rhya, she used the force to slam him head first into this bulkhead here. And this is where we continue. Rhya, are you alright? She looks a little bit strained as well, but not slightly. I guess I think so, yeah. Alright. I don't know about you, but I need a stim pack. I got 2 med packs with me. You got something similar? Or do you need to use some special kit for your physiology? She goes, no, I can use the standard med packs. My anatomy is relative close to human anatomy. Those standard med kits, they will work on me as well. And I got one. Alright. Well, I don't know about you, but I'm using a stim pack. I'm going to inject myself with some painkillers, some Bacta, and then we can continue. Alright, so long story short, I use one of my med packs, and those are one-use items, and they regenerate 1d6 hit points. So I will just erase one of them and roll 1d6, and hopefully it's a good roll as always. So 1d6, because I'm regenerating, I'm using this green d6, because green is the color of life. So now please give me a good roll, but you know my luck. No, 4. That's actually pretty great. Alright, so I got 4 hit points back, which brings my total back up to 5, which is actually not bad. And Rhya, she will use her med pack as well. And let's see, let's erase this. And let's see, maybe she's lucky too. Yes, look at this, 6. So this brings her up back to full health, because she only has 6 hit points. So she's back at full health. So we inject Bacta, and then the pain eases, burns are healed, and then we take a look at those unconscious thugs, and we improvise some sort of binding to bind them, and then we will wait until they wake up, because we need to question them, because we're still looking for information regarding the possible thieves of the data core Rhya is looking for. Alright, so it takes a while. We wake them up, and then the thugs, they come to. What happened? And then they try to move, but they're bound. They look up to us, and then they look around, and here on the floor, here they see the dead body of their comrades with a shattered skull. A pretty disgusting sight, actually. And then they stare back at us, and Rhya, with her eyes, with her glowing blue, ice cold eyes, stares at them. And she's got her shadow blade back at her belt, but now she's getting out her sonic thermal dagger, her vibro dagger. She gets it out and activates it so that the blade not only vibrates, but it's also superheated. Think of Dryden Voss in Solo, but also in the last season of The Bad Batch, they had these daggers where actually the cutting edge was superheated. So this is what this is. And then, so they're arranged here against the wall, and Rhya, she gets close. She gets on her knees so that she is even level with one of the thugs, and she stares him directly into the eye, or into his eyes, and with an ice-cold voice, and I almost get a shiver running down my back or spine, she goes, "You will have exactly one chance to save your life and to save yourself from a world of pain. I am looking for a member of your group, or for a crew or a faction of your group that have just recently boarded a vessel belonging to my species and took something that belongs to me. I want it back." And she looks to Nash. "Would you please show him the picture?" she goes. Of course. So I'll get my compad out, which is like a Comlink datapad hybrid smartphone Star Wars kind of thing. And I show the picture that I took from the dead body on the ship with the tattoo. This guy here, he lay dead on the vessel we are talking about. And we found another dead body on the vessel, a female, similarly dressed. Do you know this crew? Do they belong to your faction? And do you know where we can find them? Did they say anything about what they retrieved? And then I'll step back a while and let Rhya handle it. And I'm trying to see if I can find these pictures. So as a little refresher, show them to you, which is of course a little bit difficult because of the reflection and the glare, you know that. But if I tilt it at an angle slightly, I think it might work. So let me check. Yeah, so this was the guy with the tattoo. All right, so I'll put this like this, and hopefully the reflection is not too bad. So he had this tattoo here on his chest, and he was laying dead on the bridge of the Eldridian vessel, probably killed by some sort of internal ship security. And the same is true, or was true, for his companion, and that was this woman right here, who was also dead on the starship that we explored, that we had to get to retrieve the data core. So we're looking for this crew here that probably took the data core. So do they know anything about them? And I think it is pretty likely. I'll give it an 80% chance, again using my improvised Mythic Oracle. Doubles is a random event. I gave it an 80%, so yes, 62. So they do know this crew. So this is just from me as a DM to determine. But the question is, do they tell us about it? Are they, how tough are they? This is some sort of willpower roll. And since Rhya, she did most of the talking, I'll let her make an intimidation check. And because of the situation that they're bound and there's this guy with his splattered head on the floor and her superheated dagger in her hand, I will give her advantage on the roll because these are pretty persuading arguments, if you ask me. So, and the DC will be, let's make it 12. More or less standard. And she doesn't get any bonuses. And it's a 14 thanks to advantage. So yeah, at least the guy she was talking to and with her dagger, he goes, yeah, all right. It's fine. I mean, I don't want any. I don't want to have anything to do with this. I mean, yeah, I know this crew. They belong to our group, to our faction. And as a short OOC reminder, we gathered in the last session that this crew that shares this tattoo, that this organization, they are called the Shadow Rats, and they're an organization or group of slavers, scavengers, and pirates. And we learned this from a contact that Nash uncovered using his friends in low places scoundrel ability. So these are the Shadow Rats. And they're a larger, loosely allied group with different little hideouts and stuff. All right. Yeah, we know this crew. The captain of the vessel, let's see if it's male or female. Even is always female. No, it's odd, it's a male. The captain of the vessel, he's called Gant. His name is Gant. And yeah, he's been with us for a while now. At least I think he's been longer with the group than I have. I only met him a couple of times, but I can remember because, damn, that woman you showed me, she sure is hot. Pity that she's dead now. So I was actually a little jealous that he had such a nice crew member. Yeah. So his name is Gant. Yeah, and he had a crew of, he has a tramp freighter with a crew of, I think, 6 or so. So if 2 are dead, maybe there are 4 left. So Gant is his name. And from what I've heard and what I know, I think he's got a knack for gambling or a weakness. He's a gambler. I heard that he hangs out in the Idiot's Array Casino every once in a while. Maybe that is where you can find him. But I don't know anything more, I swear. Well, Rhya goes, thankfully, I have some means to determine if you are telling the truth. And I hope for your sake that you are. And with that, she closes her eyes and uses the aspect of sense to see or sense if he's been truthful. And she's got a sense is wisdom. She gets a +1 to use the force checks, and the DC is, I'll make it his either intelligence or wisdom score. I make it 10 because he's just got an average score. And she's getting +1. She gets +1. Damn, this is sadly a critical failure, which means until she rests, she can't use any more aspects of the Force, so no sense, alter, and control, nothing, until she completes the rest. But there's also a backlash of psychic damage of 1d4, which is thankfully converted using the solo hero rules. So 3, that is 1 point of damage. So this is just more or less for fluff, but she can't use any more aspects of the Force until she rests. So she reaches out with her feelings. She tries to feel his mind, but maybe because of the medication that she took, or because of the injuries she has sustained, she suddenly feels this hurting sensation in her brain, and of course she knows this from her training, but she tries, of course, to hide her expression and to keep her poker face, and opens her eyes and goes, "You are lucky today." And this is actually pretty smart of her, because she doesn't say "you are right," she just says "you are lucky." So because, I mean, if you would have said or not have said the truth and she said "you are right," he would have known that she is basically bluffing. So she just goes, "You're lucky today," which can mean any number of things. But there were 2 more thugs, a Godel, and because I got a Godel right here, let's just put a Godel miniature here. Now that we have talked to the human, what about you? Can you confirm his story? And she also takes her dagger and puts it close to his face so that he can feel the heat of the superheated blade on his skin. So what about it? Do you know how painful it is when the liquids in your eyes start to boil? She goes, and with that she takes the dagger and puts it close to his eye that he can feel the heat. And he, of course, flinches and closes his eyes and turns his head back. No, you are sick. Stop. Sick? You? As slavers? As pirates? Tell me I'm sick? I doubt it. So if you don't want to see how sick I can really be, you better talk as well. Spit it. All right, so let's see if he also knows something about this Gant. Let's put down his name. So it's Captain Gant. We don't know if Gant is his first or last name, or if it's just Gant. And he had a crew of 6 and a small freighter. And he is a gambler. Probably. All right, so does he know anything? 80%. I'll give it also 80%. Oh, 86. He doesn't. I swear, I don't know this Gant. I usually run with a different crew. I've never seen this Gant. I don't know. I mean, I've never interacted with him, and that's the truth. I swear. All right. And what about you? And the woman is still there. The woman is next. 80% that she knows anything. 50, she does. The thing is, does she talk? Again, intimidation. Again, with advantage. And what did I say? 12. Oh, 7 and 13. Yes, thanks to advantage, she will also talk. So she knows something and she will talk. Do I have a woman here? Yes. All right, that's her. And yeah, so she will also talk and goes, yeah, he is right. I know him too. His name is Gant, just Gant. And yeah, he's a gambler, that's for sure. And I've just seen him a couple of days ago in the Idiot's Array Casino. So he's a regular there. But I've also overheard a rumor from, or not a rumor, I've overheard a conversation from his crew. They probably have like old pirate style in the sewer system of Calcaris Prime. Calcaris Prime has a very extensive sewer system with lots of unused areas and rooms, and from what I've heard, they have sort of like a hidden stash there, like a vault or something, hidden in the sewer section, where they usually hide or store precious or bulky, hard to move and hard to sell loot until they have found a buyer, and then they retrieve it. This is something I've heard. Of course, without further information, this won't get you very far, since the sewer system in Calcaris Prime is exhaustive and extensive. But maybe it's something that you can use. And I swear it's the truth. All right then. All right, so now we go to talk to each other. And now OC info a little. I'm a little on the fence here how I should deal with them. Because Rhya, well, she is a shadow huntress, so they're elite warriors, they're assassins, they are operatives, but I don't know, she probably is not really a cold-blooded killer otherwise, but on the other side, these are loose ends that might come back to haunt us, and maybe we want to send a signal. But I know that Nash, he will definitely not be on board, I think, with just killing them in cold blood. So the question is now, what does Rhya want to do? Does she want to get rid of them? And that would probably lead to some inner party discussion. Or does she just let them be? So what would Rhya do? Right, so she's a Shadowhuntress, but I give it a 50-50. I give it a 50-50. I'll just use the D6 decider. 1, 2, 3, they gotta go. 4, 5, 6. She will let them be. Otherwise, I mean, she is trained with the Force, but she's not a Jedi. I mean, she's part of her Eldridian culture order of shadow huntresses, and the Eldridians, they are Force sensitive by by nature, so they don't have this Jedi codex. However, in my understanding of the Force, I think the concept of light and dark side is a universal concept of the Force that is independent from the concrete order or implementation. So it doesn't matter if you're a Jedi or some other monk order. I think the concept of the light and dark side applies to all. So she's got to be careful. Let's just roll first and then we will see. I'm actually hoping that she does not want to kill them. Yes, she doesn't. Thank God. All right, 4. Whew. All right, so this would have been interesting, but the dice decide. So she goes, we should stun them again, just to keep them out of the game for a while. And we should destroy all their communication equipment. And let's search this warehouse. I mean, they probably didn't walk here. Maybe there's some speeder nearby that we can use, either an air speeder or a taxi. We need to get to this casino quick, she goes. Yeah, all right, let's stun them first and then we will see. All right, so we go back. I get my blaster out, set it to stun, or it's still set to stun. All right, sorry guys. Time for you to get back to sleep. Your cooperation is greatly appreciated. Pew, pew, pew. And then we will stun all of them and they're stunned again. And what we will do, we will, of course, search them, loot them. And there are 4 of them. So I say that everybody has 1d6 times 100 credits. That is not too much. All right, so that is 2,000 credits. 2,000 credits, that is equally shared. I get, 1,000 for Rhya, which she can use to pay me, and 1,000 for me. That's good gambling money. So I'm at 5,950. And what we do is we take their compads so that maybe we can look through their communications. They're probably encrypted, but maybe we can use it for get some use out of them. So I make a note. All right, so we got information. We plundered them or looted them. And we took their comlinks. Just call them comlinks now. All right. And just for bookkeeping purposes, last session I said that I will use the urban adventure structure from Scarlet Heroes. So this was an investigation scene, and I'm counting this scene as a success, which netted us a victory point. I did this at the end of last session behind camera. I rolled if they get a victory point, the enemy, because of the delay, they didn't. So they got 0 victory points, we got 1, and now we have 1 clue. This is this metagaming currency. This is this information that we gathered so that we could initiate an action scene. This is just the bookkeeping part. So now we have looted them, they're stunned, we took their comlinks. Now we're going to search the surrounding area for an airspeeder. And I think it's pretty likely that there's some sort of airspeeder. I mean, they must have gotten here someplace. I'll give it a 70% chance. 97. That is an exceptional no. All right, so not only is there no airspeeder, but an exceptional no. But also, as we are searching for an airspeeder and looking around, we actually hear the hum of an airspeeder approaching, because sadly, while we're in the area, an airspeeder with another group of thugs, let's make it 4, but one stays in the speeder so that we can't take it because of our exceptional no result. So an airspeeder appears, damn, and stops in front of the warehouse, and 3 people, let's see how many females they are, even as female, 1 female and 2 males. And if you're wondering, while I'm always determining if they're females or women, that is because I am a male, and I've noticed in my private games that, I don't know why, because of this predetermination maybe, that I have the tendency to have all characters that show up almost always be males. I got the feeling that I'm constantly playing in a world of males. So this is why I'm forcing myself to actually determine gender of the characters, just to make the game world more real or vivid, because it would be boring if they're all men, and I don't know why that is. Maybe if you're a woman, maybe it's the other way around, and all your characters that appear are mostly female. So I try to implement this policy that I will roll for gender, and so in this case we have 1 woman and 3 men, and 3 of them are leaving the speeder, and 1 of them is staying in the speeder, and they head into the warehouse. And we go, damn, reinforcements or fellow slavers, we should get lost. Yeah, you're right. So we leave. We make use of the darkness. So it is in the middle of the night. So when we snuck in, it was like shortly after midnight. So now this whole exchange, searching. So let's say it's like at around 1:30 a.m. now. 01:30 a.m. So in the middle of the night, as we escape, so this is no problem. As a matter of fact, let's see if we can actually escape. So we gotta make a dexterity check to sneak, but I'll give us advantage, and the DC is easy. It's a DC 9 with advantage, but always give yourself a chance to fail. You never know. So Rhya, she's got +3 with advantage. Look at this, a natural 1 and a 3. +3, that is 6. This is what I'm talking about. So Rhya fails. Now Nash with advantage. All right, so Nash, he's successful, 14 and 17. However, that doesn't cut it because we're in a group. So as we are actually heading for the exit of this premises, the guy in the speeder, I don't know what he did. Maybe he accidentally hit some sort of like the front light, and those high beams that you have. So he suddenly, for whatever reason, he probably hit those high beams, as suddenly the entire area is illuminated, and I am a little bit ahead of Rhya, but Rhya, she is standing right in this illumination, right in the light. And it is this moment that also, I mean, she had a natural 1 and a 3. I mean, what can you say? And in this moment also, those guys, they come out of the warehouse and shout to the driver, "There's something wrong here. One of them is dead. The other ones are bound and stunned," as he honks his horn as if to alert the others. And now basically all bets are off. They see Rhya in the light. And yeah, this is how this sometimes develops. Now we have to fight our way out of there. And even though Shadowdark is a theater of mind or theater of mind system, I wanted to actually use my acrylic sheet a little because I actually like playing with my figures. So I'm sketching just a rough sketch here. This is like crates and rubbish. I mean, this is an abandoned factory district, and we are next to an abandoned factory, this warehouse. So when you remember last session, so there are like crates, so you can't cross this, but they provide cover, but you can't cross. Then here we have some junk that is actually difficult terrain. Just make some crosses here. So here we have the edge of the warehouse, and here in front was the speeder, and the beam lights, they shot out in this direction. So here's the entry to the warehouse. Alright, so we had one female, just take her. We have, what do we have here? We have a Duros, a Rhodian, and a Quarren. So the Duros, he's piloting the speeder, and we just they just came out, and we are basically here like this. Let me check this in my camera real quick if you can see it all right. I think, let me see, yeah. All right, so this is where the action starts, and again, I'm going red is enemy, green is Nash, and yellow is Rhya, and I will determine initiative. So red is the enemy. Damn, 5. All right, it only matters who goes first. So they go first, and then it goes clockwise. So it's the enemies, then Rhya, then me. It just goes around like this. All right, so let's get some scrap paper out. And then do a little combat. I got so much paper here. All right, so, and what I will do is I will just use my quick NPC rules from my Adversaries of the Galaxy supplement for Shadowdark, which state that I say those are level 1 thugs because there are 4 of them. So let's make them level 2. So they have +2 attack. They got blaster pistols 1d6, and they have light armor, which is AC 12. They only have average stats, and they are level 2, so they got 8 hit points. 8 hit points. AC 12, level 2. Yeah, all right. So, and the order of battle is the thugs, Rhya, Nash. And the thugs are 4, so T1, T2, T3, T4. All right, so this is how this is going to go. So actually this is not a good situation for us. I mean, I have no luck tokens left. Rhya can't use the force because she failed. And yeah, so but thankfully we are in somewhat good health. And yeah, that's that. So yeah, the thug one doesn't really matter. Let's just say it's her. So she moves over here. So I'm not going to count squares now. So she can move near, which is 30 squares, 30 feet, and going by this. So this is totally possible. So she will move over here, hide behind this crate to get some cover, and shoot at Rhya. But I do say that Rhya, at the moment when this beam light goes on, she gets out her Shadow Blade. So she's get +1 AC. She can actually deflect, and she also turns now to face danger. And let's see what happens. So it's a +2 versus an AC of 16. 11, that's a miss, +2. So pew, pew. And for cinematic purposes, whenever there's a miss, Rhya always deflects the bolt. So I'm not going to say this all the time, but this is for cinematic purposes. So pew, she deflects the bolt, and this purplish blade, yeah, is something that they probably haven't seen. So this guy, he moves over here and shoots from here at Rhya. Pew! She deflects. And the Rhodian, he moves up here and shoots also at Rhya. They probably have identified her as the most competent threat. That is a 13 +2 is still a miss. But that was close. And this Duros, he just steps out of the speeder and shoots. No, he stays in the speeder and just shoots out of the window. Oh, epic failure. Natural 1. His weapon malfunctions. Damn it. Alright, now finally it's our turn. Alright, so Rhya, yeah, she only has a melee weapon and she can't use the force. So let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I just say that she can make it. So that's barely within near, so her move. So she moves up to this guy with her Shadow Blade and attacks. Thankfully, she deals a lot of damage. If she hits, and her chances of hitting are not bad, she attacks +3 versus AC 12. And she rolls a 2 +3. That is definitely a miss. Alright, I'm going to take my little... You can never have enough on these punched out tokens to mark hit points directly here on the map. Alright, and Nash, yeah, he realizes that he is in a bad position here on this open field. So and this is difficult terrain, but he can move up to here, which is a little bit better because he's got some cover here, and from here he shoots at this Rhodian. So and this cover, this is just now for cinematic purposes. I just rule that this is a normal shot. I mean, he's bad enough as he is with his +0. So he shoots +0 but luckily he gets +1 damage bonus, and at 12, AC 12. But it is an 8 and also minimum damage, so no hit. And this time this is not stun, so pew, pew, the blaster bolt hits the scrap metal here. So that's it for us. Now again the enemies. Alright, so this guy, he backs up a little, doesn't matter, there are no attacks of opportunity in Shadowdark. He just backs up a little and shoots. +2. Rhya deflects. And this guy, I need some assistance here, he goes. So this guy, he moves down here and shoots. Oh, that was close. 15, but he needed a 16 and he would have dealt maximum damage. So Rhya also goes little help in my direction, because she is indeed pressed now, because there were 2 almost hits with 15 and she's facing a lot of fire here. She's taking a lot of fire, so these 2 have acted. Now she, just for cinematic purposes, runs over here, and while she's running, shoots. Pew! +2, and it's a miss. A 2. And this guy, his weapon malfunctioned. He uses his action to slap in a new energy cell. So that was him. So now it's us again. Rhya again moves 1 or closes the gap, and yes, that is 10 +3 is 13, and she only needs 12, and for 9 damage they only have 8 hit points. So now with 1 she just cuts him right in half from shoulder to hip with her force blade, and he is cut into 2 pieces, just like in, I don't know, have you seen Johnny Mnemonic, where this guy has this little mono whip, and basically this guy is cut in little slices. It's an old 90s movie with Keanu Reeves. Johnny Mnemonic, can highly recommend it. Alright, so that was Rhya. Thankfully we got rid of 1. Alright, so Nash, he wants to also do his part, so he moves over here and shoots, pew, hopefully hitting this time. Pew. Oh, come on, I do need to improve his goddamn to hit chance. I rolled in 6, but again wasted maximum damage, but no hit. Pew. Alright, the enemies. This guy shooting at Rhya. He has seen this little mess here and is a little bit scared now. And of course, because he's so shaken, he rolls a 2 and totally misses, so the shot goes wide. She shoots at me, at Nash. 11 +2 is 13. That's luckily also a miss. I got AC 15 thanks to my padded light armor jacket. Pew! But this guy now, he steps out of the speeder and shoots. He changed his power pack, his energy cell, but he misses also. 13. Pew! So I duck and weave. Pew! Now it's our turn again. Rhya moves up and slices and dices, hopefully. Yes, 11 +3, that is 14, but only 5 points of damage. I can just track this with this red die, meaning he's got 3 hit points left. So he's cut across his chest, but he managed to step back in the last minute. All right, now Nash, please give me a hit now. Come on, 12. It's not so hard. Ah, natural 1. That means also my power pack is empty. So I go pew, empty power pack. So I need an action next round to slap in a new power pack. I got 2 energy cells with me. This is not funny. All right, so I think the enemies are added again because Rhya and Nash, now the enemies again. So we start with the Rhodian, who moves a little up here so that he moves back into the camera and shoots at Rhya, wounded. But this time he hits. That is a 17 for maximum damage, 6, which is converted to 2 points of damage. So Rhya is hit in the shoulder. Thankfully, her leaf skin armor absorbs most of the energy, but still 2 points of damage. She's at 3 hit points. That was this guy. Now the woman shooting at Nash. Ooh, she hits 17. But a 4, that is only 1 point of damage. And I'm at, I'm not at full health. I'm at 5, now I'm at 4. And we still have the Duros, who also shoots. Ah, 14 plus 2, that is 16. That hits for another 1. So I'm at 3 hit points. Our turn again. Rhya. She moves forward and tries to finish him off. Where's the D10 here? And she rolls a 2. She fails. Also her shoulder is hurting. So Nash has to slap in an energy cell. Now I only have 1 left. Let's change this real quick here. Energy cell. So that is my action, slapping in an energy cell. And that's us. Rhya missed. I slap in an energy cell. Now it's the thugs again. The Rhodian. Now that he has hit her, his moral is up a little because he has now realized that she can be hurt. So he tries again. But natural 1. His gun fizzles as well. Also energy cell depleted. The woman shooting at Nash. Thankfully she misses. The Duros at Nash. Misses. Pew, pew, pew. So I duck. We miss. So now our turn again. Rhya. Come on, Rhya. Plus 3. Yes. But... oh no, he's got 5 damage. That's it. Not so 9 plus 3, that is exactly the 12 she needs. And 3 points of damage. She already has 5 points of damage. So that is exactly also the damage she needed. So this guy is cut in half. I'm not going into gory details this time. So this guy is cut in half. That was Rhya. And she can also move. She moves up here. And now... Nash, please, Nash. Come on, please hit. Please hit, Nash. Shooting at the woman. Yes, 14. That is finally a hit for 5 points of damage. So, pew, she's hit in the shoulder. Also wears a padded jacket. and yeah, I can move. So yeah, let's go back to back. I go, or so. I just get closer. I don't want to hamper her in her movement. All right, so Rhya moved, Nash shot. Now the enemies again. This guy shooting at Rhya now because she is getting dangerously close. The guy with the fizzled weapon is dead. And he misses barely. 14 plus 2 is 15. So once again, in the last second, she deflects the bolt. All right, that was him. And her shooting at Nash. And missing. Rolling a 3. All right, our turn again. Rhya at the Duros. Nine plus 3, that is exactly the 12 she needs for 6 points of damage, meaning he's almost dead because he's got 8 hit points, so 6 points of damage. He's severely wounded. And now Nash, come on Nash, hit, please. Do your thing. Yes, 14, and 2 plus 1, that is 3. That is exactly the 3 points that I need. So I go, pew, and she's gone. And now suddenly there's only one guy left. And he goes, I give up, I give up. He drops his blaster. I mean, he's wounded. There's some moral rules in this game as well, at least in Shadowdark as written. He goes, it's all a big misunderstanding. Listen, I've never seen you. I've never seen you. I don't care. I'm not going to tell anything. Just let me go. I wasn't even here, he goes. Yeah, well, I flip to stun. Pew, pew. Stun him with 2 shots. So he's wounded, but also stunned. And then I go, look at it this way. Now we do have a speeder. Are you alright? Rhya takes her hand, presses it against her shoulder. I'll manage. What about you? Yeah, same. But we should get going now. All right, so we enter into this little taxi air speeder and leave. And that is also a good point to end this session. And once again, and this is the thing I like about solo role-playing, because of one oracle roll, one extreme result and the interpretation of this result, and of course everybody might come to a different interpretation, this story or this session developed into a completely different direction than I had expected. And that's the good thing about solo role-playing. At least if you give this freedom to the dice and don't script your adventures. Yeah, so regarding my statement at the beginning or at the start of the video, I did have fun. I really enjoyed this session, and I must admit, even though Shadowdark is by nature a theater of mind, or favors theater of mind combat, let's put it this way, I always, when I play on camera and use miniatures, I always realize that I do really enjoy this little aspect of moving the miniatures around, and this visual aspect of where is everybody and who's moving where. I mean, I don't need really to count squares, and I also do not need complicated cover and line of sight rules, and I didn't use any cover here at all. I mean, I could have given this advantage, but I mean, in the end, it just takes longer, but doesn't really add anything. I mean, you can just always move so that there's no cover, so what the hell. But this entire representation of this little scene, at least in my mind, helped me to more vividly imagine this firefight. So I think, and this is also the reason why I decided to get out this acrylic sheet again, because also this is minimal setup time. I don't need to get maps out, to get a book out, to flip around. Just jot down some symbols, some sketches, and off you go. Yeah, so that is, these are my closing remarks. So I hope you had fun. And as a special bonus, I will show you my acrylic sheet in action. You know what, I did have a bottle of water here, but extra for this, so faucet water, but I can't find it now. But see, I think this is really great, this acrylic sheet. To quickly set up a scene here. All right, so I will do this with water off camera, but there you go. All right, so yes, thank you for watching, and I will see you soon in the next video. I hope you have a wonderful remaining end of the work week and a good start into your weekend. And as always, stay safe, stay healthy, and I will see you in the next video. Bye bye.